Hello there and welcome back to Afterlife. Yes, that's right, we are back here at the base as we have a lot of work to do to get things working and done for this season. And taking a fly on by, there is definitely a lot to do, and I think we're going to start off by doing this section here as, well, it looks a little bit odd at the moment, but don't worry, I do have plans for this section here behind me and I do have the resources gathered up together, so we'll get to working on that in a moment. But first I thought I'd take a little walk around and see what else needs done. We do have obviously these two big sections to go, and I did want to build a large mountain castle there for my base, but I don't know if I'm going to get time to work on that. Because let's have a little bit of a real talk for a minute. Yes, there is not long left to go in this season, and well, there is a lot left to do at the base, and things have been a little bit crazy and busy for me in my personal life, so Afterlife kind of took a little bit of a backseat, and content in general, but unfortunately that means we are behind schedule for the base and for the season. Hopefully though, if we get to work grinding things out, we can get a good bit of it done and get the base to a state where we have no empty spaces like this and we have a coherent base with the trees and things and buildings all here for you. So that is going to be my main goal over the next few episodes, and I'm not quite sure when the season will be ending or when the next season will be beginning, but we do have some time on our hands here, so it's time to get to work. But before we do that though, I have a visitor. Hello sir, do you have anything interesting? Artovian, Kenny and Puffheads. You have some mini blocks as well, I see. Nothing super interesting. I do think I have these heads already, so I think we're just going to leave you be and floating around in the water. Let's take a look in the storage area as I've prepared these shulker boxes full of the goodies we're going to need for today for the next section of our base. We want to fill in that empty space I showed you earlier as it is a little bit ugly, and getting this built up will do the wonders for our base. So without further ado, I think we're going to start things off with a time-lapse. I do hope that you are excited for this and excited to see where the base goes. So, let's go. We are almost done. Just a few finishing touches now to add. Those touches include a few trees. I think I'm going to put one right here, and I'm going to put one right there as well. And there is a few little details here and there to add, like chests and barrels around the place, and I think it's looking pretty cool. Let's take a flyby. And there we go, this section is looking awesome. We can actually land on the Iron Mansion here to get a better look. And there we go, we see lots of buildings here integrated together. I really wanted to make this packed look here with all of the buildings joined together in the middle. If we take a fly down this little path and look at the front, we can go inside and, well, yes, it's just one big empty space. The idea was obviously to have some farms and things, and here we do have the moss farm there. And then this is the, oh, hello sir. I have no things to kill you. Oh, don't blow up. Don't blow up. Die. There we go. Professional. Speaking of professional, I will need to sleep as it is night time and there's bad things. Don't shoot me, don't shoot me, don't shoot me. Wow, much, much better. Yes, you burn in the corner there, sir. And chop. Nice. Anyway, as I was saying, inside is just one empty room. We have the moss farm there. We have the tube for the zombies down in the zombie spawner, which is like directly underneath us here. And we'll eventually, maybe, hopefully, probably not, put some more farms inside of here, but it's good to get the exterior done, make the base look a lot more complete. But I'm going to go and put in the trees and the rest of the details into this build, and we can take a look at the final product before working on the next project for today. Ta-da! We have a finished section of our base now, and yes, well, the interior probably won't ever get to because, well, there's a lot of space and not a lot of time left to go in this season, but as you see, I've added in a couple of trees, one here, one there. Really helps to settle the build in, and I love all of the trees and greenery we have in this area. It looks nice when you see it from this angle here. Then as we come down and walk around, we've seen this already, but we do have some more buildings there, and I'll probably add in some more of these walls along this way, and then these more spruce pine trees going that way, kind of wrapping around this building. I'll need to finish that off, as I want to, I think I said before, make the path go along into the forest and make that more of an enchanted forest for where the golem is coming from. But if we turn, we see the buildings on this side now, and we do have it wrap all the way around, join on to where we already have, and that completes that section off of our base. So if we take a bird's eye view, this is what we see of our base so far. We have this section now done, we have this section, obviously we do have the docks here at the front that we worked on recently, and we have these empty spaces right here. However, before we fill those out and plan what we're going to do with them, I think there's a few things I want to add around here just to give this place a little bit more life. The first thing that is when I look off in this direction, the trees are all quite low in the background, and the only height we have there is the windmill, and then to the right we have our factory. So I think right here in the middle somewhere I want to build a tree, but I want it to be a little bit of a special tree. Obviously a custom tree, but a little bit different, a little bit going with this fantasy theme that we've got here in the build. So let me get to work on that, and then we'll see if you like it. So what do you think of our new addition? I absolutely love it. I think it looks really cool in this area. It's standing on its own. Obviously this nice twist to it with the fantasy theme like we're going for, like I said. And yeah, it fills out this area, adds a little bit of height. Obviously there will be buildings here, and I'm not quite sure yet about this area, but I felt that tree fit there quite nicely actually next to our farm. So it'll be good if we can add a lot more things like that around the base with the fantasy style trees and the flowers there, the larger flowers in the background behind my head around the base. I think if we find areas for those, that would be awesome. Another thing I want to do today is actually when I was flying around over here and looking at the dock, the area we built last time does look pretty cool, but we do have this little island here and it looks a little bit strange and odd and alone. I did think about just removing it completely, but I think it actually might be the perfect place for a lighthouse. So I think that's what we're going to work on next. We're going to connect up our dock over there, maybe like make a little bit of a bridge, build up a lighthouse, and I'll try and again incorporate the fantasy theme, all of the colours and things that we've added into the dock already. And I'm going to try and incorporate some of the amethyst as well, as that was the theme here for the build on why there is magic in this land. So I'm going to try and incorporate that into this lighthouse design as well, and then we can take a look once it is all complete. Well, on second thoughts, I probably should tidy away all of this stuff because it is just a bunch of random things in these shulker boxes. And if I don't do it now, I'll never do it. So I'm going to put all these things away and then we can work on the lighthouse. Okay, so I'm thinking on this little island, like I said, we want to have a lighthouse here, but I want to build out a bridge from there. So I'm going to take some spruce planks and just go along, I think, all the way till we meet up with our pier. Maybe do a little bit of an angle on it, so something like this all the way along. So something like that will match up with the rest of the pier once we've finished. I think though, first of all, we want to do the lighthouse so we know exactly where it's going to be. I'm thinking let's go right in the very middle, right about here somewhere, so do like 3 there, maybe a single one, and let's swap out a little bit with some cobblestone, do another 3 there. Wrap this around as well. And then the last side to make a little circle. I don't want this too big because I think with all the buildings behind it, we're going to keep it at quite a smaller scale. So let's take a little look at that and see what we think about the location. I think that's about perfect up on top of the little crest of that hill there. Build up the rest of this lighthouse. I'm thinking I want a stone base here. That's why I built this out of tough cobblestone. Throw in a bit of stone bricks to this as well. Okay, with the base in place now, I want to do something a little bit weird for the colours of the tower. I want to actually build it out of raw copper blocks. So I want to have it like this going up, but then I actually also want to have amethyst blocks kind of swirling around and up. So probably something like this where I have it going at an angle, then add a copper block, amethyst block like that, and have that wrap around the entire thing. I think that'll go with the rest of the colour scheme that we have, keep it bright and colourful, and the amethyst there tying in with the magical amethyst that we have around. So let me go ahead and place all this down and we can see what we think once it is done. Okay, just taking a little step back so we can see what we've done, and yeah, I think that's pretty cool. As you can see, I've added in a full blocks of copper as well as the copper ore. I think the gradient there with the going lighter copper to the top, I think that works well for the build. And as you see there, we have our amethyst swirl going up and around the build. I think that's about as tall as I want this section. I'm going to have another, obviously, roof part with the lighthouse light going at the top, and then probably cap that off with a roof itself. As I said, I don't want it too high, I don't want it to overbear everything else behind it. But as you come in here, there's obviously other things missing. I feel like it needs a few details, maybe some spruce wood planks and things around just to add a bit of detail to this build. So I think in my chest of goodies here, I'm going to grab some fences and fence gates. Some trapdoors are always good as well, and try and get this detail added. First thing I'm putting in here is a little ledge going around this first section to split off the base from our main tower here, just using some spruce planks and trapdoors and things like that. Then above each of the windows, we're going to do a spruce trapdoor with a spruce fence gate opened up like so. I think I'm going to do that on each one of the windows before heading up to add another spruce platform like this on top of that before we do the top section. Alright, what do we think so far? All the spruce bits are added. As you see, I have the two platforms, everything around the windows. I even added in some fences and chains hanging down, and I did also add, you can see one there, the little amethyst crystals coming off of some of the amethyst blocks. I think it makes it look a little bit more like it is magic that's grabbed onto this lighthouse here as it is growing around this entire area. So let's move on up to the top, and I am going to use some of the copper but the oxidized version and some prismarine, I think. And with that, I think we are done. We just need to switch on the lights down here. As you see, I added in the copper like I was talking about, some prismarine around, and I think once these are lit up, it's going to look really cool. So let's take a look, turn around, and yes! Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Let's take a land over here, take a better look. Yes, I think that's about the perfect height we wanted. I don't want it too high like I was saying. We have a lot of colours going on that matches with the rest of the little fishing village there in the background. So we have our copper there, the light at the top for our lighthouse. And I think now I'm just going to fix up this bridge to connect up to our pier. Maybe do a little bit of terraforming around the land there, and our lighthouse is complete. But guys, I think that's going to have to do it for today's episode. So we did get a lot of work done today. We finished off this whole section here, which is good because now the base is coming along together. Obviously we had this giant open gap that is all filled in now, so looking pretty cool. I like all the trees around here. But then also build up this swirly fantasy tree, which I think works brilliant in this area. I'm obviously going to do a lot more terraforming and trees and things around this area to fill it out. And we finished things off with our new lighthouse, which I'm absolutely in love with. You can let me know down in the comments what you think of the lighthouse and of the builds in general. And I think in between episodes, what I'm going to do is actually finish off all of this section with the trees and things that still need to go here. So I'm thinking of another few trees around this section here. And more so in this section, as well as we have our starter base there. I'm going to connect up this little path with that path there, have it run through a few trees here and there, dotting around, probably around 10 trees in total to fill out this area. And then of course we do need to head back on over to this section and get our planning done for the next few episodes, if I'm going to have a few episodes to come. Because like I said, we are coming to an end of the season. I do want to try and get the base fully built up. So the plans and buildings here might have to be kind of rushed out or done really quickly in my creative world and built up quickly here. So I might not be able to record too much of the process. Hopefully at least we can get some time lapses done of that if I manage to get this built up. So I'll lay out some blocks next episode for a plan for all of these areas, and hopefully we can get that done. But guys, as night falls here, I thank you very much for watching the video. If you enjoyed, go down, leave a like and subscribe for more. And I do hope that we can get this build finished soon. Thank you again for watching. Until the next one, bye bye.